Hello. Today we'll be playing the newest update of Light My Way. I walk to the dorm room, and as I approach it, I'm greeted by a foul smell. In my hurry this morning, I forgot to take out the nastiness that in that folded bed seat. Thankfully it's gone now, but the leftover odor is persistent. I step into the room and notice Aster playing with one of the feathers on his wing. He's sitting on a chair watching Dara sleep, but he looks like he is lost in thought, not paying attention to the loud snores that are coming from the line. Hello, Aster. Oh, hello, Lucian. I need to inform you of a change in your living arrangements. In order to minimize any more situations, Catherine has decided to move you, together with Darius and Fabian, to a house off campus. It's within walking distance. You're still going to train at the university for some specific lessons, while other classes will happen at the house. A hefty dose of team building is what I think Catherine's words were. Makes sense, I suppose. Is Darius feeling any better? He'll sleep her off, together with what I assume are plenty of bottles of something that are still in his system. Even with the windows open, Darius's breath is just as worse as it was when I left this morning. I can sense the alcohol still lingering in the air, and apparently so does Aster. I know avian folk don't have a keen sense of smell, but right now, anyone could feel the strange smell coming from Darius. The groveling scent is still sticking around in the air even now, a testament perhaps to its incredible quality, or horrible side effects. Darius overdid it by a whole lot. I'm going to leave the door open for a bit of fresh air. I'll turn on the ventilator. Aster nods at me while I move the door stopper in place. I'm glad Darius is doing better, and I'm sure he had his reasons for doing whatever he did last night. Perhaps we'll find out soon enough, although if this is his first time getting drunk, or at least as hard as he did now, he might end up sleeping a full day. Should I be concerned about his appearance? Not at all. He's trying something new. No better time than now. If Aster is taking this as easy as he is, then I really should stop overreacting. I was hoping he could tell me about meditation, although I didn't know it could be a long shot considering last night. James said I might be able to connect with some of my aspects if I do that. Could you maybe show me how it's done? You must have some advice in that regard. Of course I do. Did I oath tell you that I didn't? No, nothing like that. So he didn't. We can give it a go and see where it leads. We did talk about this, I believe, but I assume you already knew how to meditate. Getting into a university like Tyrann must mean you have to study a considerable amount, so meditation to unwind the mind is on most students' list. I've never considered it. It doesn't cross my mind that I should try. Well, sooner or later, you have to train with me, so we have gotten there either way. We can give it a go while we wait for Darius to wake up. The eagle spreads a blanket on the floor, inviting me next to him, with face to face, like we were in the office. This time, though, I don't sense any type of fear, or see any signs of hesitancy coming from him regarding me. Perhaps it's because the last time we were together, Catherine was around as well, with a dread she tends to leave lingering around. Try to get as comfortable as possible, contrary to what many think Meditation doesn't require special positions, crystals, candles, or whatever else those fake gurus on TV say. First, it's about physical comfort. The more relaxed your body is, the easier this is. Sitting down is usually the best way, but you can also lay on your back if you want to. That's perfectly fine as well. I grab a pillow and put it into under my head, looking at the ceiling. It's like I'm in one of the many therapy sessions I used to go to when I was a kid. Those days are gone, or did they just start again? Good. Now close your eyes. We'll start with breathing, then move on to emptying the mind. Try inhaling for 4 seconds and exhaling for 4 seconds. Sounds good. Now try to block out anything that doesn't have to do with what's happening right now. Start slowly. Focus on my voice, your breathing, Deus is knowing. I giggle a little at his last words. The lion still happily sawing trees behind us. I'm sure he'll be jealous of my sassy with Astor the moment he wakes up. But as they say, you snooze, you lose, I guess. You need to remove all other thoughts. Now try narrowing it more. Think of only my voice and your breathing. Try blocking out everything else. Listen to my voice. Then hear your breathing. My voice. Your breathing. This is working too well. He obviously knows what he's doing, or he's already in my head doing this thing. Again, don't think of anything else, or this will take longer. Focus, but go slow. Try to leave my voice in the background, like it's fading away. Focus on your breathing. Only on your breathing. Slowly. In and out. In. I can't hear him anymore, not even by breathing. My eyes are open, but everything's black. There's no point in rubbing them anymore because the pitch black darkness isn't clearing away. It's so quiet here. I take a step forward, jumping at the sound of a splashing water. Where is this place? Either Astor did something to me again, or where am I? Are you lost, little kid? You again. I turn around looking every which way, trying to pinpoint where the voice is coming from. You were expecting someone else? It's like it's everywhere. No matter how many times I move around, it sounds the same. Go away already. I don't want you in my head. Get out. Mind your words. I do want a repeat of what happened in that wolf's office. I said out the thought. It was a total loss of control. I never experienced anything like that, and if I can help it, I hope I will never have to again. Could this voice make me lose control again if it wants to, but if it can, it would have done so by now. It's bluffing. Yeah, that's it. It's just a bluff. But right now, I'm looking for something, or something else. I need to keep calm. I need to stay strong. This could be the moment where I can put an end to it. I just need to ask the right questions. You clearly want something from me, otherwise this wouldn't be happening. So, where is it then? I move around again, but everything's still pitch black. Why is it hiding from me? Your allegiance. Plain and simple. Do as I ask of you, and you'll sit on top of the world. What does that even mean? You rule the walking livestock around you as one of your stature stood. Say I accept your insane proposal. What then? How do I make advances in your plane in a simple plane? I'll tell you what to do when you need to do it. Listen to me and everything will work out fine, promise. What's your name? You've been talking to me for a while now, but I don't even know who you are. A blood red aspect is forming before me, its features slowly taking shape. Its eyes are the first thing I see, then its fangs. The red and black contrast shakes me, and I fumble for my tail that's furrowed out with the waves of fear and despair that suck into me. Every part of my body is trembling, forcing air into my lungs, then out of them just as fast. The maniacal smile on that aspect already broke me. It scared me. I'm hyperventilating. What's this dripping on me? It's blood. Whose blood is this? I scream out, hoping in vain for an answer. It's all over me. Get it off. I'm almost clawing out my fur. Get it off. I step back into a puddle of blood before me and behind me, then step into more in front of me. More silence. Something is slithering itself around my neck. Is it its tail? I grab it, trying to free myself, but its grip is too powerful. I try to get my claws under it, scratching it in the hopes that it lets me go. I dig deeper, but the blood is making my paws slip as I try to grab hold of whatever is strangling me. No use. Its grip on me is getting stronger. Esther? Esther! Get off me. I want to leave. I want to come back. Esther! I don't want to try fooling this aspect anymore. Please, help me. Anyone, help me. Esther! Esther! Get me out here. Get me out! Scream away, my little fox. Scream so loud so I can hear you shout. Esther! Esther! Scream in the sky. Scream at the stars. Scream until your little breath runs out. Please. I can't. Wait. I said scream. I jumped out of my trance, my fur and clothes drenched in cold water. The strong blast must have gotten me back to reality. But what happened back there that was also real? Everything about it felt real. I placed my paws on my neck, feeling it out. Ow, that hurts. I stretched my fingers through the deepened shapes of whatever tried to strangulate me. Parts of my fur keep falling off from my neck. It happened here too, in real life. All of it. And Astro saw everything. The name's Dorgan. Nice to meet you, little fox. All my claws are out in an instant. I push myself back with my feet scratching the floor, sweating the blanket underneath, swishing wildly in front of me with my paws. Get away from me, get away, get away. I hit the wall and I close my eyes, but I don't stop. Swishing in front of me, my paws finally come to a halt, caught by something. There's growing warmth all around me, and as soon as I feel my head touching something, I open my eyes again. You're fine now, Lucien. It's okay. I'm here. It wasn't real. Shh. I'm here now. None of it was real. The eagle's feathers are so soft. His voice is an epitome of security. I grab onto his chest and hug him, his embrace becoming stronger as well. You're trembling. My word. What happened there? You weren't responding to all my calls. I crawled into a ball, holding on to Asta, my fingers clattering either because of the fear, the cold water, or both. I met the aspect that's been talking to me all this time. I've seen him, Asta. My voice sounds just as strangulated as I expected it to. What happened in there? He knows I was somewhere else. Did he purposely send me there? Everything was pitch black. I saw a pair of eyes and fangs, and I felt something around my neck. Dorgan. That's what it said its name is. Answer. It was terrifying. I couldn't breathe, and he didn't want to stop. He wanted to kill me. We'll get to the bottom of this. I promise you that we will. Can we? Yes. Can we stay a little longer? Like this, please? Of course. Take all the time you need. Daryl's snoring stopped for a second. I don't know for sure. Maybe he was awake already. There goes the buzzsaw again. He didn't see any of this. We should get you to the medical center. Catherine will know what to do. Yes, that will be the... I try to get up with Aster's help, but get dizzy the moment I stand. And we just have to grab onto anything around. The eagle doesn't waste a second lifting me over his shoulder, then carries me out the door. There are students looking at us. This is so embarrassing. The visiting High Cardinal Aster Haveroon carrying 3 guys on his back to the medical center. At least I'm moving out so there won't be any bullying. Fabi and Catherine are both at the medical center when Aster and I arrive. The eagle puts me down, still holding on to me, supporting me with one spread out way in case I might fall. Fabi has a doctor's coat on, although it writes visitor on it. He's one step behind Catherine, looking intently at what she's showing me on a chart. Catherine, something went wrong. Lucian tried to meditate to find out what his original aspect is, but ended up getting hurt. I never told him that. How can that even be possible? Look at his neck. I was guiding him in breathing techniques when he stopped replying to anything I was saying. I got some cold water to splash him with, and by the time I was back, those wounds on his neck appeared. He says he was strangulated by a tail. Put him on the bed there. Mr. Gennaro, you should continue with what we talked about. Be on your way now. I don't think so. I'm staying right here until I know Lucian's safe. Good. You're learning. Lucian, how are you feeling? Like I'm dying, otherwise pretty good. Shouldn't I be the one making jokes? Then make one. Mr. Lopez, I will sedate you now. Try to relax. It's her go-to method, knocking me out. Oh no, a good option. I don't know how many times that is when I wake up in some room that I can barely make out. Oh, this is my dorm. And this is my bed, or is it? It's much bigger than I'm used to it. It must be a different model. You're awake. Halfway there. Lucian, I have to apologize for my behavior last time we talked. You're going through stuff, so am I. Don't worry, I wasn't a paragon in friendship either. Still, regardless of how others behave, I should not reciprocate because I'm in a bad mood. Bad mood? Throw off your tail, more like. I was not myself. Your bed is fixed. I bought you a new one. It was bad enough I may have mastered myself last night, but ruining your bed was more than terrible. You spent a lot in the past days, Darius. I am grateful for the bed, but won't your parents notice? You're with, sure, but this is starting to stack up. Yes, it is something I will discuss with my father at the end of semester celebrations, I am sure. Although he might be proud of me because I'm starting to spend more. That's odd. Oh, I completely forgot about the end of semester celebrations. I'll get to see my parents. Listen, I really am sorry about being so mean to you. Are you sure that because my neck looks like it's seen better days? That too. You guys were right, though. Hate to admit it, but I've been like this all my life. I figured this defense mechanism would work every time. Regardless of what happened to me, I have always associated with my eyes. They dislike me because of my eyes, or they hate me because I'm different. It's all crap. Not all of it. No, some beatings and bullying I didn't deserve. But I've been looking back on there are plenty I did. I can be quite insufferable at times and I don't even see it. I always make things about me. Every time something happens, it's a me show over and over. Folks try to help, but I act all hurt and like my life has had this awful trajectory that no one could ever possibly understand. Yeah, I grew up in a loving home. I didn't want for much, if anything, really. I did have a friend, and there are plenty of folk who grew up alone without them even having any of my issues. It sucks that something terrible has happened to realize how good things have actually been up to this point. Do you not know better? How could you? I do not know that much about your circumstances growing up, but that is all in the past. Regardless of what happened, good or bad, you do have a choice to change now. And I could say the same thing about you. What's going on with all of this stuff? I gesticulate at his body and clothes on his head, or his bed. There seem to be even more pairs now stacked on top of each other. The truth is, I do not know. I thought I was fine with everything, the aspects of our teenage university, leaving my dreams behind. It is not like I do not know my father pushed me to be a cardinal. And I'm not that naive to not understand his plans. Me being a cardinal will offer him more reins for his deals and networking. I'm just a tiny pawn in his immense game. But even so, at some point, his dream became my dream. Now, I do not know what to dream or even how to do it. Fabian, what are you doing here? What do you mean, what am I doing here? My duty as the squad's leader, obviously. You're not acting different, Fabian. You were just as worried as I was. Not as much as you. I knew Foxy would be fine. Of course you did. So what is this about a tail? I don't know for sure. Maybe it was something else. I know I said tail, but it could have been anything. It was dark and I didn't see much. Darius is looking out the window, ignoring this part of the conversation. Is he sensitive about this kind of stuff as well? Sounds messed up. Can you talk? Yeah. I caught my neck, not my legs. Great. I think we should walk around campus then. Get some fresh air and talk about stuff. That does sound like a good idea. You two never join me on any of my walks. Wait a second, you're all good with how Darius looks like? Why wouldn't I be? His very own rebellious phase. I would call it cute. He teased me already. I am not in the mood for another round. Can I get that water over there? Then we'll be off. Each and every time I ask someone for water, it feels like the universe is laughing at me. Better get dressed first, Foxy. Oh yeah. I gulp down the water Darius handed me and feel every drop wet my throat. It's like I have never had water in my life, and the experience is overwhelming ever since my body. The loud noises coming from my throat aren't subtle at all, and as I finish the small bottle, I hold it towards Darius. He smiles and gets me a new one from under his bed. I didn't even notice a brand. Seems like he spent a considerable amount on everything. Can you guys give me some privacy? You're joking? You expect us not to see you naked at one point or another? I have to agree with Fabian. What if something happens in one of these missions we're supposed to go on and we see each other naked then? We should have the experience already so that it does not interfere with anything later down the line. So what? Are we all getting naked or am I doing a private strip show? Also, we did see each other naked at the pool. We were all wearing shorts. I get this is hard for you, Woody. Or will be hard. But sooner or later, we still have to get to know each other from every point of view. It's not a big deal at all. It's just normal day to day in the locker room for us in the sports arts. I have to admit this makes me uncomfortable as well. Nobody has seen me naked, ever. Your parents? Besides my parents, of course. What kind of question is that? Do you have servants washing your balls in a fancy tub? You're such a child, Fabian. In any way, I fail to see what getting naked now will achieve. You're in the guys, Foxy, and you like Darius. So if you see him naked, that might arouse you at the wrong time. Wait. Are you saying that if we are attacked by this sacred carnivores in some long-forgotten desert or whatever, and by the craziest of mishaps, Dora's pants and also underwear fly off him, and I see his dick, I get hard and lose track of what's being killed. Okay, that sounded much more different in my head. Yeah, it's dumb. Don't know what I was thinking. So I got undressed for nothing then? Oh, my fur. Stop staring. You have to get naked now, too. Why? Because this is too embarrassing, and you will tease me to no end if I am the only one doing this right now. You're damn right, I'll tease you. See, take off your clothes now. I'll whip them off. I'll whip them off you. Come on down. There. I'm naked too, Fabian. This is so dumb. Come on, Captain. Do it for the squad. Fabian takes his clothes off, dropping them near him. Not much to take off though, since he's always dressed light and ready to bike. Great, so now what? I guess we look at each other for a while and learn what each other's bodies look like. Fabian's legs are full of muscle to the point that any slight movement makes them stand out in a perfect contour. They're so well defined that only the years of training now the story. They're so well defined that only the years of training know the story of how they got to be the way they are. His fur has always been trimmed short. I suspect in part to him sweating a lot from all the practice he puts in, but it could also be a personal preference now that I think about it. His arms and chest on the other paw not as impressive as his legs. They do have a clear shape, but not nearly close enough to how his legs look like. Every day is leg day for him. His upper body reflects that. I still don't get how he didn't break Darius' arms when he kicked him. He had to be holding back because, well, his leg muscles look like they have their own leg muscles. You have been working out quite a lot, Fabian. Your form is exceptional. Yeah, whatever. Thanks, I guess. Doris, however, is beefy all over, muscle combined with fat everywhere. Since he trimmed his fur, his entire body gives off a different vibe. All the padding in his clothes wasn't just fat, it was also fur. I did get to see him at the pool with only his swim shorts on, but it doesn't click to me back then that he's so sturdy. His arms look bigger, his chest wider, and like the first time I saw him, he's big in every area. If I keep looking down there, Fabian will hound me for all eternity for my impending boner that I desperately needed to keep under control. I will not give Fabian the satisfaction of being at least somewhat right, even if minimally. What is going on here? Oh, my fur. Holy carrots. Doris is too stunned to say anything. I'm not sure how to react myself, aside from my half-growled, half-squeaked yelp. Nobody's moving. It's been a good few seconds and the awkwardness is so thick I could hit myself over the head with it. Maybe Miss Refulgence has a sealant with her and she'll jab all of us with it. I feel like we deserve it. We wanted to get accommodated with each other's bodies, in case something happens in the field. so we're ready for anything. Valerie manages to help. Valerie manages to take the lead with something resembling an explanation. Although at this point, I wonder why we're still not reaching for our clothes. It's like if we move, it would get even more awkward. I see how that might make sense in some very extreme corner case scenario that might never happen, but do you think it's appropriate to do this now? Right after Mr. Volpez went through such a traumatic experience, you also have to share a shower at some point, so there's that. Mr. Folds is rubbing her temples. Both of them this time. She's muttering something under her breath. But she is right about my experience. It was traumatic, and here I am getting naked with my friends because this doesn't make sense. Where's that oppressive fear that I felt? Where's the crippling anxiety that made me want to hide in a corner for the rest of my life? There's nothing. All the fear and terror are gone, as if I never felt them in the first place. I should be scarred for life from that horrible experience. And although I remember all of it, it's playing out like a movie in my head. Like I was just a spectator, like it never happened to me. This sense of calm is overwhelming even the crazy embarrassment that I would normally feel right now under these awkward circumstances. We're all naked and Catherine with Fawcett's just walked in on us. Why don't I feel anything towards us either? It's as if all of them are just long gone memories. I will step outside for a minute, then I will come back in again. The moment she is out the door, we all scramble to get dressed. We make enough noises so Catherine knows when to come in again, as the silence sets in the room. We're lined up as if we were in the army, standing straight, looking forward, waiting for orders. She clears her throat once she steps in, not looking at anyone in particular. Mr. Gennaro, Mr. Volpez, Mr. Flytros, please accompany me to your new home. I hope she chalks this down to us being goofs, and that's that. It's getting to Fabian that he keeps blundering around Catherine. 2 strikes in one day. Strikes more than he wants to have with someone like Catherine with Frozen's. He's choking on the inside, his ears are much lower than usual, and his tone was meek at best when he replied to the Jaguar. It was my fault, Mr. Fawcett. Misunderstood the request, and out of embarrassment I made my friends take off their clothes too. If you jump off a cliff, should they follow without thinking? However harsh everything coming out of her sounds like she's damn right every time. We couldn't have known that she would talk. We couldn't have known that she would walk in at that exact moment. But what were we thinking, messing around like that? We're still kids. We're still so stupid. No, Mr. Fawcett. I thought so. Are you having difficulties walking, Mr. Volpez? No, I'm fine. My throat is scratchy, but I should be. Let your voice rest in. You'll need your eyes for this. It doesn't get any more subtle than that. Tell someone to shut up. We arrive at the house after walking off campus. It's quite close to the university, only a few streets away, which is why I assume we didn't drive here. A normal house, nothing out of the ordinary. It blends into the neighborhood as if it's some innocent family of 4 living there grilling on the weekends, playing cats, or relaxing in the garden on a sunny morning. We walk up to the house, noticing the lack of a name on the post box. There's no doorbell either. The Jaguar opens the door while Thump puts it on the stuck door. It must have been some time since anyone came here. Welcome to your new home. Each of you will get a separate room. Feel free to decorate it as you see fit. These will be your living quarters for the foreseeable future, so try to make them as comfortable as you can. I have to admit, not hearing Darius' snoring would be a great change for a while, although I have kind of gotten used to it by now. But having my own room, again, does sound nice. My own room. Is something the matter, Mr. Flytros? No, everything's fine. Darius smiles, gives Mr. Fulgence a smile, but it's just a sad one. Both Fabian and I get what Darius is on about. Mr. Fulgence, are my siblings going to live here as well? Don't be absurd, Mr. Janara. Still have a hard time pronouncing his name. Mr. Janara. They will live quite a distance away in one of the residential areas of Collegianas. We can't have them popping up in your training sessions or other activities you might have planned. There was a huge misunderstanding. I'm certain it was. We can now stop talking about it so I can forget I ever witnessed it. I think this particular moment will be locked in time for us three forever. How often does it happen to be naked and Tyrannon's headmistress walks in? Nobody would believe us even if we had pictures of it. The end of the semester is a couple of months away, and I assume you all know Tyrannon has a tradition to celebrate our first year students. I expect you to be at the festivities with your visiting families. After the event is over, we will have meetings with each of you in private. We will explain to your parents or siblings, in your case, Mrs. Janara, that you will attend special classes. This should solve any possible issues you might have with grades and the sense in their eyes. By private means, do you mean brainwashing them? Mr. Volpe is sharp in tongue as always, yet a more than useless use of words. I can assure you none of that will happen unless you are bent on forcing our pause. Direct to the point as always. Why did I even try to antagonize her? What does she mean, Lucian? I'm standing right here, Mr. Flytros. Many apologies, Mr. Fulgence. What do you mean by that? Mr. Volpez has a friend here at Tyrannon, Atlas Longfang. Mr. Haveroon had to persuade him about some things in a meeting. Nothing malicious was intended or done. Mr. Longfang simply had some facts altered so that our meeting had a different meaning for him. Frankly, Mr. Volpez, I'm getting the feeling that you don't like me very much. Although you've created more trouble for us than anyone could have suspected, you have it out for me, regardless of how many olive branches I throw your way. Would you prefer I treat you as I should based on your behavior and outbursts? I do hate it when she's right. It's like she is allergic to being wrong, like her life depends on always having the right answer at all times. But this isn't me. I would never talk back like that, and for no reason as well. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. You say that, yet here we are. Great stuff. Great. Well, Lucian thinks hard about his place in the world. While Lucian thinks hard about his place in the world, is there anything else we need to know about the house, Mrs. Revolzance? Not right now. Consider moving out of your dorm tonight. Also, don't forget to invite your family to the end of semester festivities. It's mandatory they attend, so make an effort to speak to them today or at least the latest by the end of the week. Of course we will. Right, guys? Yes, we do. Your keys are in the bowl next to the door. I'm sure you'll figure out how everything works here. I assume you've all seen the kitchen and bathroom before. Catherine's comments are without a doubt condescending. She's treating us like kids, but we did act like it, so. Welcome to your new home. She leaves and we stare at each other for a good few seconds. We're such a mess. Then there's all this aspect stuff still hanging over us. Come to think of it, I haven't really seen any aspects for the past day. They've been somewhat visible for a while, but more like smudges. Now that things are settling down, well, yeah, now that things are settling down here. The crazed rabbit, solemn lion, and a whole lot of foxes are back again. Maybe Catherine scared out. Maybe Catherine scared our aspects into hiding. A more than valid hypothesis. I'm going to look around. I think the bedrooms are upstairs. Biggest room is mine. I do not care which one is for me. Can you start with your sleeping alone thing? We already agreed we'll take turns if you need to get a good sleep. But like I already told you, you should talk to someone about this, someone professional, I mean. You can't expect to sleep with someone your whole life, especially if you're not attracted to anyone, to be able to have a relationship. Who said I'm not attracted to anyone or have a relationship? I like folk, some specific ones more than others. If sex is not my first thought, that does not mean I have no preferences as to whom I desire to have in bed with me. Well, isn't that something new? I do not want to talk about it right now. Like you said, the bedroom's upstairs. We should settle the matter of where one sleeps. Care to join in, Foxy? I'm okay with whatever. What got you down all of a sudden? I know we'll probably look for the staircase that should lead us to the bedrooms. On our way upstairs, we see empty picture frames hanging on the wall next to the staircase. The wood creaks under our feet, the railing uneven under our paws with cuts here and there. There are claw marks on some parts, and right at the top there's a small inscription, together with a small puzzle piece engraving. Towards here. Must have been the previous tenants. There are 3 bedrooms upstairs, and after entering each one, Fabric gives out a sigh. They are the same size. Do not worry, Fabian. We still know you are our leader, even if your room is not bigger than the rest. Or anything else for that matter. Fabian's look switches from pissed off to amused once he hears Darius's laughter. The rabbit points at his ears, which elicits even more of a rumble from all of us. The empty and frankly somewhat abandoned house gets filled with the deep sound of Darius's voice and laugh. It's as if he made this our home in one instant. Making jokes now, I'll make you run laps around the house once we get to training. I doubt you will be in charge of our physical training. Also, look at me. Do you think you can tame this? That part of Darius is coming out again. The one I'm somewhat concerned about is not him anymore. He keeps saying that it's something we don't know about him, but it still pops up at random times. It hasn't been more than an hour since we were in the embarrassing encounter with Catherine. He's acting so carefree all of a sudden, right after being sad about sleeping alone. Maybe I'm imagining things again. I hope I am. I will head to the dorm now to get my things. Let's all grab our stuff, come back here, and chill for a bit. I still would like to sit and soak for a while. You sure you're not an otter in disguise? But yeah, it would be nice. After we get our stuff here, we'll head to the pool. I want things to get back on track from now on. Smooth biking all the way. Is it not sailing? Now move. We decide on a random room for each of us and go downstairs. I put my paw in the bowl where the keys should be. They're tangled together, so I'll pull them up to reveal that each has a miniature lion, rabbit, and fox miniature figurine attached to them. That was thoughtful. I'm sure Catherine didn't do this. It's more of a Kieran thing. It still is cute. You guys want to trade? Why? It's kind of cheesy that I'm a rabbit and have a rabbit keychain. I agree. What am I, 7? I thought it was cute. Give me yours, D. So I get the fox? No offense, Lucian, but I want the rabbit. I see. You're going with the luck of the rabbit. I'll have you know that my folk completely resent that. Fine, D, here. You can have the rabbit one. I'll get the fox and Lucian gets a lion. We leave the house in a hurry, but soon slow down to a pace taking in our surroundings. There's only houses everywhere we look. Typical suburbia. It could be a part of Aurora, and I wouldn't know the difference. Same house built in different colors, same streets but with different names. There's a bit of nostalgia around all this, but it's mixed in with uncertainty. And why is Dara so upbeat about all this? He's even humming. No tall buildings, no junkies, no cracked pavement, and it's so quiet. It's a rich neighborhood, alright? The dorms are quiet too, because everyone there is a square, and Tyrannon is super strict. You're a square too, then cause you study there. Had to be for my siblings. Not everyone got to grow up in magical suburbia land filled with rich corns, driving in fancy cars, and having pool parties whenever they felt like it. That's not exactly true, Fabian. Suburbia does not only have carnivores. Not anymore. A few of us herbs got out and made something of ourselves. But don't tell me that. It's looking at names on mailboxes. The sharp claws or a gentle family of antelopes. I know you're trying to make a point, but things aren't as they used to be. And how will you know that? Ever had to walk down the street at night, your first standing because a few blocks away you crossed paths with a corn, and he didn't like the look of you? Now you're thinking if he's going to mess you up or even devour you, and the feeling doesn't go away even when you've double bolted the door. That's not how things are anymore, Fabian. You have to admit that we are all here right now, precisely because things are different. If you keep looking back, what good will that do anyone? Things like this don't go away for us, D. When you walk into a room, regardless of being a flight host, you command attention. Or because you're a damn lion, folk are gonna listen to you no matter what. When I walk into a room, best I can hope is that someone notices my long ears just enough to look down and not step on me. That's quite dramatic. I agree with you, Fabian, that things are still not right, and it will take a whole lot longer for them to get good. But I can't change that, and neither can Darius. So some of your moral high ground on us won't do much here. I'm sorry for all the shit you had to go through and that you still are going through, but neither me nor Darius can take back all the crap Corns did. We're here now, though, and we're together. So give it a rest, or you'll burn yourself out with so much negativity. Maybe that was too harsh, but it's at this point where I don't get it anymore. What should I do? What should Darius do? Should we get on our knees and apologize because we were born like this? We didn't devour anyone, and we sure as shit won't ever do that. We can't fix what's wrong with the world if we feel bad about who we are. That's not the solution to this entire herb corn feud that keeps coming back over and over. The media keeps making it out to be this wonderful utopia where everything somehow fits together, and the next day is back to discord and hate between species. Folk like Fabian tend to be more aware of it than others like me and Darius. Maybe he's right. You can't fix what's going on in the world, but I can't stop feeling the way I do either. I wish I could lift you up from all this, get that insecurity out of you once and for all. As if anyone could ever do that. I could try at least. Try what exactly? Alright then. Here goes nothing. A comical picture for sure. Darius lifted Fabian up from the ground. Not sure if he's taking this way too literally, but it's the first try at something, so no judging. He's hugging him tight. Their aspects are connecting. The crazed rabbit is calmer now, its movements less hectic. It's following the sturdy line upwards, forming a spiral. They're in sync, reaching out their paws to each other, trying to establish what looks like the final piece of connection needed between them. Bob is grabbing to the lion's chest, one arm around his neck, with tears in his eyes. He needs hugs more than Darius does by the look of it. I can sense my foxes slowing down, and as I'm looking around myself, I notice that they're watching too. We're all witnessing this unfold. Huh, losers. We're doing well here. Don't need your skulking around. Skulking. Big word, little pup. Look to your left. Until Fabian talked about a minute ago, a medium corn overcame me for a brief second. My breath froze seeing the waving fox to my left. My paws were cold and sweaty at the same time. The aspect's blood-red features over the pitch black fox form is as terrifying as when I first saw it. I'm stunned in this position, not even being able to fall, stuck in a petrified state of mind and body. The aspect looks like he's out of me, barely a thread connecting us anymore. All the other aspects are still looking at Darius and Fabian, seemingly unaware of Dorgan. The aspect walks closer to me, each silent step adding to my growing desperation. I still can't move my body, not capable of reaching in any way until reacting in any way until you're really one of my aspects. You're a part of me. You thought you were hearing voices like a sizzle. Hilarious. I honestly wish I were one, instead of you being real. Anything except you being real. I thought I should introduce myself properly, seeing as we bound by fate. Unfortunately, I got such a weakling, but beggars can't be choosers. But now, leave. Please leave me alone. Do you smell that? Just look at those two. So fresh, so full of life. Don't you just want to eat them? Is that drool on your snout, little fox? Are you finally getting it now? My arm moves without my say-so, my finger pointing right above Darius and Fabian. This must be a trick. It's one of the hallucinations Dorgan keeps slipping into my mind to mess with me. He's not giving up on trying to ruin my mind. But this looks so real that I can hear it. I can see it drooling over them. Is that me? No. And it can't be. I wouldn't. I would never. Wouldn't you? The fox head is coming closer and closer to my friends. I can feel the drool trickling down my own snout, just like the big fox in front of me. There's a link between me and that illusion, regardless of what Dorgan is doing. I know he's screwing with my head, but for the first time there's an open a connection now to my other self. I can smell what it's smelling. I can practically taste the meal that I'm about to have. Those are my two best friends, yet my senses tell me their only purpose is to quell my hunger. That's never going to happen. A blast of darkness bolts towards the intertwining aspects of my two friends, separating their aspects in an instant. What the fuck did I just do? And how? They're gone now, and I'm back into the darkness. It's me and a fox. There's no dogging around, neither is there water splashing under my feet. It's angry at me, looking straight into my eyes. The gigantic fox is looking at me as if I robbed him of his prey. Those eyes seem to ask why did I. Those eyes seem to ask why I did that when all I wanted was to survive. His crazed look reminds me of Fabian's aspect, but this is a look of pure hate, not of instability. Those red eyes were telling me a short story of how I am going to be the next thing they devour. That's the look of an ancient, what a real fox used to be, what a real fox would do. It is who I am on the inside if I dig deep enough. It's a crushing realization to witness this troubled reflection of myself. This is that locked up part of each of one of us that we have hidden away in the farthest corner of our minds. The strong pull of the ancients is always there. The third one is always there, inside all of us. I need to shake off this feeling. These thoughts are dragging me down a dark path, and I can't sense dogging anywhere. It's just me with my own primal instincts. I know better now, though. Folk know better now. Dorgan's going to mess with me until I lose it completely. I might not be able to sense him, but that doesn't mean this entire thing isn't another try to break me. I can't let him have that. I'm much stronger now. I have my friends with me, and they'll be by my side to the very end. To the very end, indeed. That's that talk that Fabian and had. It kind of reminds me like blacks and whites. Black people and white people. Got one race that is like the dominant race, and in the other race, blacks, they're not really getting the benefits of society. We're not a whole lot of them anyway. So the past, with segregation and slavery is still on many black people's minds, and this game reminds me of that. We got the herbivores and the carnivores. The carnivores are clearly the dominant group. They're the ones who mainly live in suburbia, in these fancy houses and nice streets. And the herbivores, I assume, live like in the inner cities, so they have to struggle more. So that's something I wanted to point out. And have a lot of white people being guilty for the past, like colonialism and all that, and so kind of remind me of that. I mean, you have to move forward. I mean, we still, that doesn't mean we still forget the past. We still need to remember the past so we don't go back and repeat it, but we also have to move forward. You have to move forward, just talk to each other and know each other more and how each other are feeling. That's that's what I have to say about this. Between Fabian and as well as Darius and Lucid. Darius lets go of Fabian almost immediately, placing him down softly. Did it work? No, sorry, D. Really? But I felt you hugging me tighter and tighter. I thought about how I would do anything to protect you. You were imagining that. Anyway, it didn't do much for me. I thought I could do something about it. Do you think they see me? He's still there lurking, desperate to get under my fur. You're the worst. They were close to something. Why would you do that? I didn't do anything. You did. And don't be such a downer. Shouldn't you be thanking me for showing you you're not crazy? You dumb fuck. His aspect dissipates in front of me, his words and laughter still echoing in my mind. He went back to wherever he keeps spawning from. That witch. I get hold of my body once more and exhale long and hard as I practice my paws on my knees to catch my breath. The midst of foxes is back at pacing eats in every way like nothing ever happened in the first place. Loosen, what are you looking at? Is there something the matter? I'm good. Catching my breath a little. It felt like I should give you guys a moment. I'm sure Fabian is happy enough with that answer. Darius knows I'm lying, but he's not saying anything. Let's get to our dorms then. Agreed. What's it do in such a short amount of time? Bossy, get your tail in check. You look like you've seen a ghost. If only. I arrived at the dorms with Darius. Fabian went on his way to finish up with his packing. There's an obvious wait between Darius and me, amplified by the passing seconds of silence and his not so subtle grumbling. I have to ask, what were you looking at? I thought you didn't care anymore about these things. Come now, you know I do. Now more than ever, we need to be honest with each other. I know, but it's not easy explaining all the stuff I see and feel. If this goes on, you know Mr. Folgers is going to give you an earful. Not to mention maybe put you back in that safe wing. There are things I just can't talk about. Still, there's little time to keep doing what you're doing. How long till you trust the ones around you? There's no reason for you to be so secretive anymore, aside from being a fool. Have I not shown you that I am trustworthy, or Fabian, or Miss Refulgence? He huffed his breath at the last words and turned around to grab some boxes. I get where he's coming from, but if I tell anyone what I actually saw, I'm done for. I know it sounds stupid in a way, but underneath all that nice talk about wanting to help out, I also know there's going to be no holding back if they all know I'm unwillingly harboring this thing inside me. It's playing with my head, and the last thing I did, making Fabian's and Darius's aspects separate, saying I did it. I know that bolt came out of me, but I didn't do it. I don't even know exactly what it is that I did exactly. I would never stop them from whatever it was they were doing. I should tell them about it. Yes, this has to end. I need to come clean. At least to Darius at first. I will. Once we're done settling in the new house, I'm going to tell him. They might all be understanding, which was the case even now with Aster. But a hug and a nice chat in the garden also won't change the fact that James could have crushed my skull with his punch if he wanted to, that one time I tried running away. I'm more than certain that the reason why I am allowed to walk around right now is because Astor thinks he has me figured out, or at least deems it safe enough for me to be out and about. And Catherine, well, the thought alone of her knowing more makes every part of my body twitch with nervousness. Sometimes I think they just want to see what happens to me if this keeps up, like I'm in a sick experiment that I can't get out of. I never wanted any of this, and now there's no possible way out. I'll have fur patches falling out sooner or later only because of this unrelenting stress. You're right. I have this ingrained feeling of keeping to myself. It's a bad habit, I know, but I've been like this forever. Dropping it out of the blue isn't going to work. I'm not as disciplined as you or as determined as Fabian. Maybe you should try to be the maybe you should try to be then. What is your reason to stay the exact same way you have been for the past 10 years? Have you not noticed all the craziness around us? Did you not see Fox aspects leave your body and get into yours and get into ours? Did you not see yourself strength? How much more do you need that to happen to all of us for you to realize how childish you are acting? That's not fair. I shouldn't know all this shit would happen. It might be all They might all be understanding, which was the case even now with Astor. But a hug and a nice chat in a garden also won't change the fact that James could have crushed my skull with his punch if he wanted to. That one time I tried running away. I'm more than certain that the reason why I am allowed to walk around right now is because Astor thinks he has me figured out. Or at least deems it safe enough for me to be out and about. And Catherine, well, the thought alone of her knowing more makes every part of my body twitch with nervousness. Sometimes I think they just want to see what happens to me if this keeps up, like I'm in a sick experiment that I can't get out of. I never wanted any of this, and now there's no possible way out. I'll have fur patches falling out sooner or later, only because of this unrelenting stress. You're right. I have this ingrained feeling of keeping to myself. It's a bad habit, I know, but I've been like this forever. Dropping it out of the blue isn't going to work. I'm not as disciplined as you, or as determined as Fabian. Maybe you should try to be then. What is your reason to stay the exact same way you have been for the past 10 years? Have you not noticed all the craziness around us? Did you not see the Fox aspects leave your body and get into ours? Did you not see yourself strength? How much more do you need to happen to all of us for you to realize how childish you are acting? That's not fair. I couldn't know all this shit would happen. Nobody asked you to predict the future. I'm telling you to live in the present. Life is happening around you, but you are lost in your own universe. You hear voices, you have 1,000 aspects. Yes, we get it. We really do. So why are you acting like the bullied fox from your childhood? The amount of self-pity has become ridiculous. Yeah, Darius. It's self-pity, not trauma. No. It's me being over-dramatic about my situation. It is. Look at yourself. How many times have folk around you offered to help? I did so since we met. But you are busy lying to me about petty things. Do you think I care any more about all the nonsense you choose to lie about? You're stuck in Lucian's world, population 1. You're a prick. For the high and mighty proud lying you try to portray yourself as, you're no better than Fabian on a good day. Fabian got it right with you from the start. I needed a kick to the teeth to get me out of my own head, and maybe you need one too. I will carry these boxes downstairs. You should grab your own stuff if it is not too uncomfortable for you, Prince Lucian. Or you can call that tiger to hold your paw if you need help. Fuck off. You're an insensitive asshole. Ever since you're a citizen to Jock Tier, you've been nothing but a dickhead. He's out the door already with two massive boxes in his arms. The thing is that everyone is right, though. I keep doing this. I need help with everything, but I push everyone away if they try to help. I've been like this my whole life, even with my parents. I went after Darius, sprinting across the room to the door. Darius, I'm sorry, you're right. But instead of seeing the line I met by a different figure altogether. Atlas? Hey. Was that your roommate? He's different now. Yes. Maybe not for the better, though. I don't know. He looks very good. Huh, well, that's something after just a simple fashion change. Is he moving out? Yes, well, I am too. Why, are you dropping out? No, I got a room in a house near campus. It's for becoming an elite. Doris and I have been studying a lot, and we were picked to participate in a special study class. Liar. Oh, yeah. I met you in the headmistress's office once, so that's what it was about. I can't remember what happened that day for the life of me. Answer might have had something to do with that. I still had no idea what he can or can't do. It's all still speculation on my part. Yep, that's what that meeting was about. So now we're moving to make room for entry-level students who might need this room. Do you need any help with your things? And why is your voice so hoarse? What's that around your neck? The neck thing? I got my t-shirt strangled up somehow when I looked. Wait a minute. I got my t-shirt tangled up somehow while I took a nap. Crazy, right? I also had a presentation to give, so my voice needs some rest. I practiced a lot for it. It was related to the elite upgrade thing. You're natural at this. That Marvel's lying was wrong. He has no idea how gifted you are at lying. You're truly an awful folk. You always worked hard for your studies, so which boxes should I grab? The biggest one's Muscle Tiger. Shush you. I know Dargan's there. I know that he's talking to me. I know he's trying to get under my fur, but when this tiger's around, it's fine. It's so easy to get him to blush. I grab some of my books and put them in the box, pointing it out to Atlas. He lifts it without any effort, and I get to see his muscles bulge out. Crazy aspects, strangled in darkness, and saying discussions about dead carnivore languages, and I get horny looking at this cat. How basic of me. Or how normal. I mean, what else do I have in all this madness here with me? Atlas, that's it. Stop staring and grab a box. I don't know where we're going. Right, follow me then. Fabian's waiting downstairs next to the car. Mr. Folger's got us one for transportation purposes. Darius is already back, folding his fancy clothes in a box. Wow, you're close to the head mistress, Lucien. I wouldn't say that we're close. Sorry, friend, you cannot join us. I don't want any trouble, big guy. I'm here to help with the boxes. Alright then, that is fine. I get what Darius is saying, but it's not like we were told we need to keep our house a secret from anyone else. If anything, I would prefer Atlas knowing where I am. He's the one folk around who isn't mixed up in this aspect crap, and I would like to have him as my anchor to reality. I don't really care what others think about this. I need at least one folk to know what is going on with me. Atlas checked in on me now because he cares. I know he does. There's no harm in letting him come with us. It's not like our house for elite preparations is a secret or anything. Is it private though? I doubt we should be showing it off to random students. But he isn't random, is he? You already know him, and I explained the situation. Have you considered Fabian in all this since he is our study group leader? The cycling rabbit is your tutor. How? How am I getting in the middle of something? Not at all. Take that box downstairs. I'll be there in a second. Atlas makes his way down the hall, leaving me alone with Darius, who isn't happy at all with how I handled things. I'm sure he's going to lecture me again. What are you thinking, Lucian? You cannot show him the house. Why not? I have no one else who is keeping me sane right now. We're all screwed with this aspect thing. He has no idea about this crap. I want to have someone to talk to and also someone outside of our group to know where I am and what I'm doing. I can't tell my parents any of this, so who do I have left? Us. You have us. The one who do understand you and want to help. I'm done. You're sus of what? I don't need someone to sleep with at night, but I'm allowed to want someone near me. Someone who cares about me in more ways than a hug and a kind word. So I need someone to have sex with. And then say that, and it's not what I meant. You're not into sex, that's fine, but it doesn't mean we all don't want to be. It's your choice or preference or whatever. But it's not mine. So if I want to have someone like Atlas next to me for sex or hanging out or anything, I damn choose I'll have that. Does he have a girlfriend? So, is there another box I could take downstairs? I swear Atlas does this on purpose. It can't be that I can't hear him at all. Darius didn't either by the looks of it. I have no idea if it bothered Atlas what I said, but I meant it. Yep, the one there. It has notebooks in it. It has my notebooks in it. Fabian's cool, by the way. That Former is such a beautiful car. Also, we got to talking and we're hanging out later at your new house. I stared at Darius brimming with smugness. Fabian slapped the line from a distance, and I'm here for it. I do wonder why he's invited Atlas, though, and a Former. Miss Fulgence sweating for her favorite student yet again. We were supposed to go to the pool first. Nice. I need to soak a little after all the training I did today. Seems we are going to have a party tonight. Haven't had a beer in, well, since I got here. I do not think we will partake in any alcoholic adventures. Really? Fabian said he's buying a beer for the night. Did he now? Alright, that's odd. I'm starting to suspect Fabian's not in his right mind. We have a meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock. He has to remember what happened last time with Darius. Put a small box on top so we can get this done faster. Yeah, I'll get the last one and come downstairs. And take a look back at the now empty room. It was nice here while it lasted. Aside from some of the last days, it's been the most quiet and relaxed time of my life. This room is where I found peace for the first time since finding out how different I am. Nobody bullied me. Nobody was on my case for this or that. I was more or less alone. And I loved it. I closed the door, and with it, my hopes of ever coming back to this world I'm forever leaving behind. Hey, Lucian, what's up with your friend? Do you have some sort of fashion makeover? He's not taking his studies as seriously as before, I think. You saw how the Cardinal students dress. He's a Flytros. Oh shit, as in the Flytros? Yep, the one and only. Our private conversation might have changed Atlas's perspective on Darius. Up to now, he was either indifferent or annoyed by the lion. He's now following Darius's movements and can sense him being much more impressed. Money, that's always what Money. That there's always that with rich folk. Money attracts money. Speaking of that, it's a damn firmer, alright? Fabian's acting like a rock star, leaning on a car. Legs crossed. Robin, I can talk to you here for a second. Robin, can I talk to you here for a second? Cooler D, it's our last day here before our practice starts. I figured we might have some fun tonight. Do you think we should be drinking beer? Is that really necessary? Unless you plan on hooking us up with the Grovians, then beer it is. Do not even mention that horrid liquid. Doris got drunk on 5 bottles of Grovian. 5, that's something. 5, that's something expensive. Hearing Atlas say that is a thing in itself. He's got enough money, but even so, getting 5 bottles for him alone is a big stretch. Goes to show how rich Doris is and how uncaring that fat he is. You can be our saint of Clearwater, D, keeping us all hydrated with cool water if you're unwilling to join. I'm sure Lucian needs hydrating. He always has since he was a kid. You shouldn't drink too much beer tonight. We all know how it ended up last time when you two guys drank a lot. They know. Atlas whispers that in my ear in what I can describe as a trembling voice. Fabian being Fabian as usual, but this time he's going farther than he should. This doesn't affect just me and he knows it. I can't give an inch to him or to Doris anymore. Not regarding this at least. I'm sure there's a lock on my door so you don't have to worry about seeing anything in case we drink too much tonight. Both of you snore loud enough not to hear any moans I might make. Both of you snore loud enough not to hear any moans I might make. So everything's good, right? That burned the ears off of everyone. Mine too. I don't need to look in the mirror to know my face is a brimming red. The complete shock everyone is in right now gives me a lot of satisfaction though. Enough jokes about me and my time with Atlas. I do feel bad about him having to hear my fiery outbursts. It's not without intent though. I would lie if I said I didn't want to rumble with that muscle target again. After all the stress I've been through, this would be a great way to let off some steam. Not to mention being hugged by him again, I felt safe in his arms. The pool should help with that, and although the warm water might make for a good hug impersonator, I would still prefer the real thing. We should get going if we want to get to the pool tonight. There's a good look on you, you mean rabbit? The aspect's angry enough about putting you in your place too, I see. Or is it angry at something else? I looked away it's cowering away, only to see Darius's aspect take a menacing, aggressive stance. Why aren't they saying anything? They should see this happening. Or are they? Why are their aspects anyway, Zeller? What's going on here? That was chapter 7. So we know the name of the aspect now, and it's still trying to convince Lucian to embrace his carnivorous nature. And Lucian is resisting it. That part of him is in Lucian, like the urge to eat meat, because his aspect wanted to eat Fabian, and it looks like he wanted to eat Darius also. I guess even predators are tasty to this aspect, so I mean, if he told Darius about what he's been going through, and the fact that this aspect, this part of him, is still in him, then he fears that Darius will tell Mr. Fulgence, and he'll be put in somewhere in the university, like the insane asylum. Like, I think it was already there one time. So he's worried he might be put back in there, and that it will basically ruin his life, basically. So Darius got really mad that Lucy is not being honest with him, that he's not telling him what's going on, and that basically he told Lucy that he's self-centered and he's throwing out. So I mean, I think Doris says the truth. I mean, I think he's a little too blunt. You know. I think even what you say is the truth. I don't think it should be too blunt with it. Just I think he's going way too brutal when it comes to his honesty. And I already know what I had to say about Fabian and the whole carnivore and herbivore conflict. This VN's kind of like Zootopia. Probably always told y'all that in previous videos, but it is kind of like Zootopia. Predators and prey conflict. So we've been seeing Atlas more in this chapter and the last chapter also. So it's good that both he and Lucien are still friends. And Lucien talks to Darius about him wanting to have sex, and he mentions Atlas. You know that Darius is like an ace now. I don't know if he was an ace before, or if this change he went through recently made him into being an ace. I mean, I don't know if he was an ace before, or if it's only after this change in him they became an ace. So anyway, Lucien talked about the different types of company. With Doris, it's physical, hugging and talking, but he also wants more. Like having sex with contact with somebody is another type of company and affection, and he wants to do that with somebody else. And he mentioned Atlas. So, I mean, doesn't he have a girlfriend? I mean, I know it's more like a long distance relationship now. His girlfriend is at a different university, but I don't know. I mean, is he still with his girlfriend? I don't know why he thinks he could have sex with Atlas, unless, I don't know. So we're gonna see all of them hang out next time in chapter 8. So thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.